Hi friends, today we are going to see the past year NEET questions for the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plant, and today in this video we will cover part 3. Now let's begin with the first question here, which was asked in the year 2011. Which one of the following diagrams represent the presentation in Dianthus? Okay, fine, we have 4 diagrams here. So if you look at the option C, it is visible it is not Dianthus, this is not Dianthus, and this is not Dianthus. The right answer is option B. Free central presentation occurs in, that is the central part, it's free. Free central presentation occurs in Dianthus and Primula, in which ovules are borne on the central axis and septa is supposed to be absent. Therefore, the right answer to this question is option B. Okay, yeah, so this is how it is represented. It has a free central presentation. Next question here. In unicolor ovary with a single ovule, the presentation is dash. Okay, so what do you think will be the presentation here? So before that, let's talk what is presentation. Maybe that can give you an idea, or what is this. So presentation can be of different different shapes. Okay, it's not just sometimes it might be oriented towards the axis, or sometimes it is oriented towards a margin, sometimes oriented towards the basal. So it goes from various testing. So when we talk about presentation in plants, it actually refers to the formation of or you can just say, what is it? It's the formation, or you can say it's the type or the structure, or you can still use another word, which is arrangement, the right word. Okay, arrangement of the placenta. Okay, arrangement of the placenta. The function of the presentation is to transfer nutrients, respiratory gases and water from the maternal tissue to a growing embryo, and in some instances it also removes the waste from the embryo. So this is the exact function of this placenta. And this presentation has different shapes, in the sense it can be a marginal, free, central, axial, basal, and so thing. So when we talk about a unilocular ovary, with a single ovule, the presentation is supposed to be basal. Okay, what is it? It is basal. Okay, in basal type of presentation, the ovary is unilocular with a single ovule, and this placenta is the base of the ovary. And they have given you an example. It is actually seen in polygonum. Okay, therefore the right answer is option B. Next question here. Ovary is half inferior in the flowers of dash, and this question was asked in the year 2010. So what is the function of the ovary now when it comes to a flower? Ovary, maybe you can just search in for ovary in flowers or ovary in plants, whatever you put in. So in flowering plants, the ovary is a part of the female reproductive organ of a flower or a gynoecium. Specifically, it is a part of the pistil which holds the ovule, and it is located above or below, or it can be at the point of the connection with the base of the petals and sepals. So this is how an ovary is represented in terms of plants, and especially for a flowering plant. So a flower in which the floral parts arise from around the ovary is called as perigynous, and in this the ovary is half inferior and half superior. It is not fully inferior or superior, it's partly 50-50. So this is seen in plum, peach, etc. Therefore the right answer to this question is option B. Next question here. An example of axial presentation is dash. So this we already discussed. This question, I think you must remember the answer by now, because we already discussed in the early parts of the same chapter, and this question is a repeated one. An axial presentation is found in, yes, the answer is lemon. In flowering plants, the presentation occurs when the ovules are attached inside the ovary. An example of axial presentation is a citrus fruit, which is lemon. In this type of presentation, the ovary is sectioned by the radial spokes with the placenta in the separate locules. Therefore the right answer to this question is option B. Next question here. Replimid is present in the ovary of the flower of dash. So what do you mean by replim? Before we go into the answer or where it is present, it is a must that we discuss what is this replim. Okay, so replim can be defined as a thin, false, what is it? Dissipment. Okay, it is a thin, false dissipment which separates or separating the two halves of the fruits. Okay, from which the valves fall away at maturity. So this is the meaning of replim. So you understand what is the meaning or what is the definition here? It is a thin, false dissipment separating the two valves of some fruits from which the valves fall away at maturity. And this is actually visible in which of the following, if you see. It is found in mustard. Replim is present in the ovary of the flower of mustard. A false septum called as replim develops between the two partial placentae in mustard and other members of the family which belongs to Brassicae. So the ovary becomes bilocular. Okay, therefore the right answer is option B, mustard. Next question here. Which of the following is a flowering plant with nodules containing filamentous nitrogen fixing microorganism? Okay, so you have 4 options here. This question was asked in the year 2007. Obviously, you will not know the answer. I will tell you. See, it is also known as the Australian pine, which is deciduous tree with a soft, wispy, pine-like appearance that grows around 100 feet or more than that also. It is also known as ironwood or beefwood. It bears superficial resemblance to the conifers genes, especially Pinus. And when this Pinus is, it's because it is small, round, cone-like fruits and you see how it appears. So this is the appearance of it. Okay, so the answer to this question is option D, Casuarina. Okay, what is the answer? Casuarina equisetifolia. Okay, that is the answer. So which one of the following is a flowering plant with nodules containing filamentous nitrogen fixing microorganism? Is Casuarina equisetifolia. Okay, yeah. Next question here. Long filamentous threads protruding at the end of the young cob of maize are called as dash. So what do you think will be the answer? Because it was repeated on 2000 as well as 2006. So long filamentous threads protruding at the end of the young cob of maize is a style. Okay, it is a style and that is of the ovaries. In fact, they are longest styles in the plants, it seems. So long filamentous threads that are protruding at the end of the young cob of maize is styles of the ovaries and they are said to be the longest in the plants. Okay, next question here. Angiosperms to which the largest flower belong to? Okay, what are angiosperms? You must have, you know what is angiosperm, gymnosperms. Are angiosperms flowering or non-flowering plants? They are flowering plants. The flowering plants, also known as angiosperms, are the most diverse group of the land plants with 64 orders, 416 families, approximately 13,000 known genera so far. And when it comes to species, you have about 3 lakh species and more. So angiosperms are plants which produce flowers and they bear their seeds in fruits. They are the largest and the most diverse group within the kingdom of the Plantae and they have more than 3 lakh species. Angiosperms represent 80% of all known living green plants in the universe. So I've given you enough introduction about angiosperms. Now coming to the angiosperms, which has the largest flower is the total root parasite, which is Rafflesia, is an angiosperm which produces the largest flower and it is total root parasite. Therefore the right answer is option C. Okay, next question here. The type of placentation in which ovary is syncarpous, unilocular and ovules are sutures is called as, ovules are on the sutures, is called as dash. So the arrangement of ovules inside the ovary of a flowering plant, you know what is it called as? It is called as placentation, that arrangement, right? Now, in marginal placentation, the ovule develop from the longitudinal suture where the margins of the ovary will fuse. Example, pea, green, etc. they have given. In apical presentation, a single ovule is born near the apex of the ovary. Here the ovary will be unilocular, and in superficial presentation the ovary is unilocular, simple and syncarpous. Therefore the right answer to this question is option B, parietal presentation. Okay, yeah, so to your right side you have examples which come for superficial, which comes for apical and all that, so you can go through that when you're free. So the right answer to this question is option B, parietal presentation. And what is presentation? It is the arrangement of the ovules inside the ovary of a flowering plant. Next question here. Floral features are chiefly used in angiosperms identification because dash. So you have to analyze the statements here. Flowers are not of various colors. No. Flowers can be safely pressed. Wrong. Reproductive parts are more stable and conservative than the vegetative parts. That is the right answer for this question. When it comes to this one, see, when it comes to reproductive parts, we talk about floral features. Of course. Okay. So they are the most stable and the conservative than vegetative parts, which exhibit changes due to the environmental factors quite readily. So floral features are more reliable. Say during an unfavorable condition, I mean, not just a plant, it resembles, I mean, humans as well. Only when you survive, only when you're provided with the right nutrients, even the child will grow. Otherwise it will be malnourished. So the intake or the environmental or the unfavorable conditions will show changes readily, right? Likewise for a plant it falls the same way. A plant has to grow, it has to bear fruits, it has to bear flowers, all that is there. So favorable or unfavorable, even if the plant is surviving or not, only by the activities of reproduction we are able to understand, and that will readily react to all the factors that are available with it. Therefore the right answer to this question is option C. Next question here. Hypothodium. Okay, hypothodium is dash. So what do you think will be the answer here? Hypothodium is a special kind of inflorescence where the receptacle is usually fleshy and flask shaped. And I've given you an example, it's ficus. Okay, so it's inflorescence. Okay, if you want to know any other information about this, well, I'll provide. So what do you think is this factor here that is given here? Hypothodium. See, as I said, it is a special kind of inflorescence. Yes, in angiosperms, this hypanthium or the floral cup is a structure where the basal portion of the calyx, the corolla and the stamens from the cup-shaped tube, they form the cup-shaped tube. It is sometimes called as a floral tube in terms what it is called or what is used for corolla tube or calyx tube. And what does it contain mostly? If you see, it will contain the nectaries of the plant. So hypothodium is the inflorescence. It's a special kind of inflorescence where the receptacle is usually fleshy and flask shaped, and I've given you an example which is ficus. Okay, next question here. Coconut fruit is a dash. This is a very easy question. I think all of you should know what the answer is. It is obviously not a berry, it is obviously not a nut, it is obviously not a capsule, it is actually a drupe. Right, it's a drupe. Coconut fruit is a drupe. A drupe is a fleshy fruit with thin skin and central stone containing the seed. Therefore, the right answer is option D. Next question here. The morphological nature of the edible part of the coconut is called as dash. Again, this is an easy question for you. So, the edible part of the coconut is called as, it's not pericarp, it's actually the endosperm. Okay. So if you want to know, so what is this coconut actually? It has so much, it has so much, benefits from it. Right from the oil, everything. Okay. So this coconut, if you see, it's a fruit of the coconut palm. And it is used for its water, milk, oil, tasty meat and everything. It's grown along the tropical regions for more than 4,500 years by now, but recently increased in popularity of their favor because of the culinary uses that we use in the cooking. So the morphological nature of the edible part of the coconut is called as endosperm, which is You know, coconut has a double endosperm, a liquid endosperm and the cellular endosperm. Therefore, the right answer to this question is option B. With this, we complete the Morphology of Flowering Plant Part 3. Hope to meet you in the next part of the same chapter. Thank you for watching.